Hanging with Huber. It is time. Joined on the program today by Mr. Matt Weitzel. Hello, sir.
What's up? How are you?
I am doing well. I am happy to have you here on the show, talking all things radio, talking the demise of the Bay, whatever we come up with. It's interesting because, you know, when you think of the tunnel, usually you're looking for a light at the end of the tunnel, but the light at the end of our tunnel is connected to a train.
Yeah.
That is barreling towards us at high speeds and ready to derail our hopes and dreams.
I found myself the other day quoting you in the, what's the old bit we used to have? Every day is a little bit worse than the one before, but at least I'm a little bit closer to the sweet release of death.
I actually brought this up the other day. So when Matt and I started doing mornings, we had a little like romper room style mantra that was every day is slightly worse than the day before. But at least due to my bad choices and unhealthy lifestyle, the sweet release of death is right around the corner.
That's what it was. I'm a giant nerd, and so I still do the choir over at Archbishop Curley with the alumni and stuff. And we were in rehearsal, and a guy who's an alum that hadn't been to a rehearsal in a while came in, and we were talking. He was like, "So how are you?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm one day closer to the sweet release of death." And he was mortified for the next 15 minutes. Genuinely was like, "Are you okay?"
I mean, no.
The answer is no.
Yes, of course not. All right, so before we get into the end, and I'm hoping that it's not the end of the radio run for all of us at the Bay, to be honest with you. But you especially as a younger guy, young kid, like I'd, I can ride off into the sunset at some point here shortly. But with you, you're into it. How many years now?
I started in 2017, so I'm just shy of 10 years now.
And I knew that before I asked. And you know why I knew that before I asked?
Why's that?
Because you were the last person I hired before I left, and I got to the Bay in October of 2017.
That's right. Yeah, I started at 98 in September of 2017.
And I remember interviewing you thinking, this guy's not going to work for me. Because at that point, I had already started talking, and they hadn't made an offer yet or anything. But at that point, I was like, pretty sure I was going to end up heading over to the Bay from 98. But so let's take it all the way back. You're a kid. You grew up in the Essex area, right?
Dundalk, yeah.
Dundalk, okay. Pops is blue-collar guy.
Oh, yeah. Worked at Vost Alpine, the steel company there, right off of North Point Boulevard for, probably 20 years, at least 15. He started that right out of high school and then went from there to CSX Railroad, where he still is today.
So a lot of, and I know this from, just years of knowing you, a lot of your music taste comes from your parents.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my dad is a stereotypical, like, Hammerjacks guy, like, loves all the 80s metal, but his favorite band of all time is Zeppelin, and he grew up in Florida for a little while, so he's a big Skynyrd guy.
Okay.
He talks all the time. He tells the story of being in Jacksonville the day that the plane went down.
Oh, man.
And how Jacksonville just turned into an absolute ghost town. That's, like, one of his favorite stories to tell.
That's wild. I'd never heard that before.
Yeah, so he was a big Zeppelin and Skynyrd guy, and that's why I grew up loving Zeppelin and all that stuff. But, I mean, Metallica and, like, yeah, all that 80s hair stuff he was big into. So that's where a lot of it, my early kind of musical discovery came from. And then as I got older, I started getting into all the pop punk stuff and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I would describe you as an old soul when it comes to your taste in music and movies and stuff like that. There are a lot of people your age that don't have the same frame of reference for that kind of stuff that you do. Does that, does radio fall into that category?
A little bit. So I was actually just thinking about this the other day, and it dawned on me that I think a big reason why the current generation has no frame of reference for things older than them is those talking head shows went away, like the I Love the 70s and I Love the 80s on VH1.
They were the best. You're right.
They were some of my favorite shows when I was a kid. That's why I have references from like 1970s movies that I've never even seen. And it's because I'm watching Michael Ian Black talk about it on VH1.
The best. No, you're not wrong. Not to lapse too far off the subject of you, but one of the things I fear for my kids is that right now, so I'm a 90s kid, right? So I grew up 90 to 95 in high school, 95 to 99 in college. And I know that if I meet somebody else of my age, I can say, man, those high school days listening to Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains and Nirvana and even Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, we're going to have a shared experience with that. My fear is that without radio or local TV or whatever kind of bonding a whole generation of people, whether you live in San Diego or Baltimore, I don't know that those kind of shared experiences are going to continue on, because depending on which YouTube channel the high school class liked in Baltimore, it's not going to be the same one in another part of the world. So I wondered about like your radio listening. Did that come from like going to school or work with your parents, or did you fall in love with radio on your own? I mean, because you went all in. You went to like a radio school.
Yeah, so I mean, it was just kind of always there. Like, you know, we talk about how sometimes radio is like passive listening. It was just always in the background. Like going to school in the morning, my mother either had on POC, Lori DeYoung, or we had on 98 at the mostly it was Mickey and Amelia. I would kind of was the tail end of the KML days.
I gotcha.
And so Mickey and Amelia was the morning show when I was a kid. It was always either that or POC. And, you know, I just fell in love with those personalities. And, you know, obviously I was big into the music and everything too. I think I'm the only kid that ever brought a Led Zeppelin CD to a 4th grade karaoke event.
It is awesome. I mean, I think a lot of us who got into radio made the mistake of getting into radio because we loved music.
Right.
And that's where we heard our music. So we thought, well, if I want to be part of the music scene, then I got to get onto the radio. And then you get there and you realize how much math and statistics and all that other research and stuff goes into it. And you're like, oh, this isn't what I thought. I thought I got to hear something and go, oh, this is awesome, and throw it on the radio.
Yeah, I'm terrible at math, so now I'm going to spend the rest of my life counting to make sure we hit the top of the hour on time.
I know, timing things backwards and making a music log to make sure the amount of songs in there will fit in the hour and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's so funny. So musical influences from your parents.
Oh, yeah.
Growing up listening to the radio. It comes time. You get on your way out from high school. Is it like right then I got to figure out how to get on the radio, or what's the next step?
No. So I went to Loyola University for 3 years and failed the hell out. It's kind of a convoluted story, but so my plan was to be a theology major.
Okay.
And go back to Archbishop Curley and teach religion there.
Okay.
That was the idea that I had.
So it was not to say yuck yucks and go, that was Led Zeppelin, here comes Pearl Jam.
No.
Okay.
It was to be the most subpar teacher in the school. And so I started working at the college radio station there, WLOY. Shout out John DeVecca. That dude's an absolute genius. He runs the radio station there at Loyola.
That's awesome.
That was like a big deal for me in choosing a school even. So it was even there when I didn't realize it was.
I gotcha.
Because like the two schools I was looking at, I wanted to stay local. I was either going to go to Mount St. Mary's, or Mount St. Mattress, as some call it, or Loyola, and ended up going to Loyola and working at the college radio station there, and fell even deeper in love with it there. Failed out, was trying to work while I was there, and I did not have the brain capacity to do that, and a lot of other like kind of personal family things at the time, but like end up getting kicked out of Loyola, and then I hit the panic button, and I'm like, okay, so my parents officially hate me. I am not in school anymore. Don't know what I'm going to do for a job. Like, what's the thing that I actually can see myself enjoying doing?
Head to the land of misfit toys. That is the radio.
1,000%. And honestly, it should have clicked sooner, because at Loyola, I mean, anyone in the Maryland area knows this. Like, Loyola is a lot of your Long Island and New Jersey kind of like wealthier kids, and, you know, their parents all have white collar jobs and stuff. And the only people I ever fit in with were the people at the radio station. And I was like, these are the only people I can stand to talk to for more than 5 minutes.
Like a literal manifestation of the Freaks and Geeks show.
Yeah, it's 1,000% what it was. Yeah. Once I got kicked out of Loyola, I'm going to keep saying that now.
I do like that you don't skirt around it. Like, you don't just say it wasn't for me or I moved on. Like, you're like, no, I
they kicked me out.
Yeah, I'm gone.
They kicked me out twice. I had to sit in front of a board of people and convince them to let me come back, and they did, and then I still screwed it up.
don't know. I knew that caveat.
I don't tell that part of the story often. You're welcome.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
But so from there, I just start like kind of looking at what I can do to get into radio, and I stumbled on Sheffield.
Yeah.
Which, you know, at the time had a careers in TV and radio track in addition to the studio recording and things like that. Bill Riley, absolute legend. Dude has taught almost everyone of prominence in Baltimore radio, from Justin to Wendy to Matt Davis. A lot of people think he taught Sarah. He was actually in the same class as Sarah.
Oh, wow. At BIM, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he originally taught at BIM, and then when that closed down, he went to Sheffield. That's when I started going to Sheffield, and that was my kind of training. And it helped that I did the college radio stuff before I got there, because I had a basic understanding of like how to run a board and things like that before I even stepped in the room. Yeah.
So you go to you're going all in on radio. You go to Sheffield. You're learning that. And what year is this?
This is 2016 or 2017. It was like a 6-month track.
So then you got hired at 98 from Sheffield.
So first stop was 105.7.
Okay.
The fan. My Sheffield had a very good like career placement program. And so literally like maybe 2 or 3 weeks after I finished the school there, I got a call from the career placement guy that was like, hey, they're hiring part-time board ops at the fan. Here's the email address. Send your resume, give them a call, whatever. And then maybe a day or two later, I'm sitting in there interviewing for the part-time board op gig.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So that all happened very quick, which is kind of a running theme. Like, I readily admit that I should not be where I'm at in my career at this point.
You've like had a full radio career, but it's like if you hold the fast forward button.
Yes.
But not like stop fast forward, like while it's still playing fast forward.
Yeah.
Like you're watching it happen, but just significantly faster than it normally would.
I'm the embodiment of click at this point, where it just zooms through it. But yeah, so I was at the fan doing just part-time board op, like a lot of babysitting automation in the overnight. Like midnight to 5, while also working in the kitchen at Jared in Parkville. So I'm going.
That's real radio life there. Working in the kitchen or a restaurant or something to actually make some money so that you can survive while you chase the radio bug. Right.
So I'm going to the station from midnight to 5 a.m. I get off at 5. I go home, sleep for 2 hours, go into the kitchen at 9 or 10 to start prep for the day and everything, and then I'm going back to the station at 4 to board op some block programming show on the AM side, and then going home and napping, and then going back in at midnight.
That's the grind.
I say all the time, if I had to do that now, I'd kill myself.
Yeah. That's the grind, man. You can talk to a bunch of other people who do what we do for a living and hear that story in some variation 100 different times. I mean, it's just how it went. And the difference, now today it's a lot different. There are no really haves. But the difference at a radio station, in its prime at least, was the difference between the haves and the have-nots was vast.
Oh, yeah.
There was nobody really in the middle making good enough money or just hanging out. You were either clawing and scratching at the bottom or you had made it to the top.
Yeah.
And left very little room for in between.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I mean,
the carrot that was seeing I want to do that, I could get to do that or whatever. And the only pool that those people got pulled from was the people that were grinding it out, right? So it's not like you can just like, this isn't for me, because once you were gone and off the roller coaster, you're out.
Yeah.
You're just out.
Yeah, and I mean, that's partially why I say all the time, like when I really started to think I wanted to be, in radio, like all I wanted to be was Kirk McEwen doing the afternoons.
Sure.
Like, and it's because I spent a lot of time underneath in that lower rung watching him being like, yeah, I think that's what I want to be doing. But so to double back, I was at the fan for maybe 6 months. I think I was there from like March to September is when I went over to 98 of 2017.
And started there in the promotions department.
Yes. So how I got there, again, Sheffield connection, Justin, because he's, one of the kids that Bill taught, he came for like an open house as like a, hey, look at where this guy's at kind of thing. And then I was also helping out with the open house, like walking prospective kids through the studios and stuff like that. And so Justin and I got to talking, and he had asked me, so like, what's your like ideal gig? And I was like,
something that's in the building that pays money.
Yeah, basically. I mean, and at the time, like the dream was to be at 98. I didn't care what I was doing. I just wanted to be there. And so that's why I told him, I was like, look, not to blow smoke, but I would love to be at 98. And he immediately picked up his phone and texted you.
Yeah.
And then I think you and me and Chris Shimoleski
It was Shim, yeah.
sat down and had lunch at a sushi place. I don't eat sushi.
I think Chris and I wanted sushi real bad, and we didn't care what you wanted.
Yeah, I was too scared to be like, I'm not going to eat anything there because I'm more worried
I
about
love this soup.
General So's chicken, please.
But I remember that lunch. I remember that interview, and I remember, and I do want to ask about this. I remember finding out that you were in a band, and that's all I needed to know.
Oh, yeah.
Because I knew that you had humped speakers and could tell the difference between a 1/4 inch and an XLR, and really that was how low the bar was. I'm like, we can teach him the rest. I don't want to teach him that stuff, though, because that was such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that was not a thing you needed to worry about with me. Yeah. I had my own band when I was, 16 is when I started. I mean, I was playing in places like Cynics and stuff like that where you needed to be 21 and over to get in at 16.
Yeah.
Which, looking back, is crazy that I was doing those things. Especially, there was one night we played, this is a total tangent. One night we played at Cynics. We did our opening
That
set.
place was wild, by the way. I had some fun times in that joint.
That place was such a shit show.
It was.
But it was so much fun, though. And being a 16-year-old living in that world for a while was just so surreal. But there was one night where we, played our opening set, and then we left, and then found out the next day that somebody got stabbed after we left.
They were so inspired by your music.
Apparently. we really nailed that subpar Pantera cover.
So hired at 98 Rock, had a couple-year run there during COVID. I remember seeing social media posts of yours where you're set up in your apartment, running the board from home and producing a show from home and all that kind of stuff. I've always wanted to talk about that because the size of the Bay at the time was so tiny.
Yeah.
Small company, small staff. Everybody had their own office or cubicle. So we just kind of came in shifts. The jocks literally were we're not really going to cross paths with each other.
Right.
You be gone by the time I get there. Those of us with offices just kind of came in the office and shut the door. So we got back to work pretty quick, but I know the guys over at the Hearst Castle, it was a thing.
Oh, dude. So I started there in promotions as part-time, then was assistant promotions director. I was Lori's assistant for a while. And then I got into the programming side, and it wasn't too long after that COVID happened, because I was producing Kirk and Marianne when COVID happened. And for the first, I don't know, maybe 2 months of that, I was still going into the station, which being out and driving on the roads at that time was just super weird.
I don't like to even think or talk about that era. And I'm not shell-shocked by it or anything, but I hated it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we got called back kind of quickly, which made it even worse. I had a 4 and a 2-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I didn't have to battle virtual learning because they weren't learning at that point. They weren't in kindergarten or anything yet. But it was basically keep them alive, juggle which one of, Mrs. Huber or I had a hotter fire to put out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's okay, well, the only time that anything felt human was when they were napping.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like you said, going to the grocery store, I would drive there, I'd go and I'd come back and I'd just feel gross. And nothing happened, but I hated it. It was so eerie being out there. That era sucked. I was very grateful to be in this almost exact spot we're in right now, to be able to broadcast from home quite a bit during that time. But
and
I hated it.
Early on, it was so strange because I remember they printed us these cards where it
because you were the media, you got special exceptions to be out on the road or whatever.
If you were to get pulled over or something, we were supposed to show that to the cop to be hey, I'm an essential worker or whatever.
Right.
Even though I'm going to produce Kirk tell dirty jokes on the radio.
And he ordered the red snapper.
Yeah. But so it was 2 months of that where I was still going in, and then I was also covering other facets of the station at the time on the programming side. So they made the decision to have me start being from home, and somebody else basically started covering the afternoon show for me because I was doing a lot of the music programming and stuff like that. And then, there was the day where they were doing work on the tower where they had to completely clear the whole station out. And then Brian, the engineer there, who was another genius, I love that dude, he had set me up with a computer to keep at my counter at my apartment where I'm able to change the pots or the faders on the board from this computer remotely, and I ran the entire
that's
show
wild.
from my one-bedroom apartment. It was the weirdest situation I've ever been in radio.
Yeah, I mean, you were literally the captain of the ship from a bar stool in your kitchen.
Yeah, straight up. And I have the one computer where I'm controlling the board. I have another computer where I'm controlling the automation system. And then I'm texting in a group text with Kirk and Marianne to tell them what's coming up and what we're doing. It was literally like the weirdest like air traffic controller kind of thing.
So now we come out of that, and soon thereafter you were at the Bay.
Yeah, I had kind of hit a point where, I call it hitting a ceiling. I mean, I wasn't going to get any higher up than I was there. So
that sounds very familiar.
Yeah. And so my first text was to the last guy that hired me, which was you.
That's right.
And luckily we did not go get sushi that time.
That's right.
Met with you and Jefferson. And then, actually, before we even met with Jefferson, I think you and I had lunch at, what was it? What's the pizza place by the station?
Coal Fire.
Coal Fire. Yeah, we met up at Coal Fire. And there was one of those instances where I was like, look, I'm looking to get out of here.
Right.
And you were like, cool, I want to get you in. There's nothing right now.
Right.
Let's link back up if something does open up. And then again, in just this weird happenstance of me seemingly always being right place, right time, like 2 weeks later, something opened up.
That's right. And it was a perfect timing thing. And much through my career, I have, for better or for worse, and you could tell me if it's for worse if you want, I just try to get people in the door.
Yeah.
The job opening doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I just need the people in the door. And then I figure once we get them in the door, then we'll find the round peg for the round hole or the square peg for the square hole. Like, I hired you as social, which you were fine at, but that's not what I wanted you to do there.
It's not what I really wanted to be doing anyway.
I had hired Campbell to be traffic coordinator, but that's not what I wanted him to do there. Right. But I was just like, these opportunities come up so few and far between. And the characteristics of the people that I hired are unteachable. All the stuff within the building is teachable. Yeah. And that's the difference. So I just try to get people in the building and then be like, okay, now that you're in the building, now let's let's get you doing what you're good at.
And we always talked about like utility players, and that's 100% what I was. Like, I was the Ryan Flaherty of radio at that point.
That's right. Please, Alexander, now don't break your hand.
I might not hit a lot of dingers for you, but I'm gonna get on base and I'm gonna be able to play any position you need me to.
Yeah, and so I mean that was kind of it for, right up to the end here. I mean, you've done everything from social media, commercial production, morning show, and afternoon show. I mean, it doesn't leave a lot of boxes unchecked.
And I would also
music director. I mean, all of the above.
I'd also argue I was a sales guy for a little while too.
100% you were. I mean, and that again, the difference between a smaller mom and pop style station versus and to be fair, Hearst is a big corporation, but they're still run almost like a mom and pop station too. More resources than the Bay, but then they would say less resources than an iHeart or an Odyssey or something like that. So both of us have had the unbelievable luck to be in radio this long and have yet to pack a U-Haul or move across state lines. Like, that just doesn't happen.
And it's fully spoiled me to this point, and I readily admit that, because now that I've been doing this almost 10 years and have been able to stay in Baltimore,
the thought of leaving doesn't even register.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pull a Casey Allen and go to Nebraska. Yeah, like, that's just not happening.
And I am to the point where I am fully aware that my values, superpower, whatever you want to call it, is just having been here long enough.
Yeah.
Like that I just know everybody now, and I just can't imagine having to rebuild this vast network of friends and colleagues and contacts and whatever you want to call it. I can't imagine starting from scratch to do that.
It's the Keith Mills effect of like, go to any bar in the Baltimore metropolitan area and say, hey, does someone know Keith Mills? And 17 people are going to raise their hands. You only get that by being in an area for 20 plus years.
I agree. And I don't want to leave. And that's why I've spent 6 weeks panic setting up this studio to see. And look, I have no aspirations for this. That's why I can talk to you about all of these local things. I have no ideas that this is going to get past the Baltimore metropolitan area. Even though it's on the internet that everybody in the whole world could see it, I still feel like I'm doing this, that it's just going out in that signal pattern to the people that I've been talking to for almost 28 years now on the radio. Like, that's all I want. If this became popular within the Baltimore metropolitan area and nothing else, that's a win for me.
And at least you don't need another website to reach Harford County.
That's right. Hanging with HuberPod on YouTube and Hanging with HuberPod 2 on the Harford County YouTube.
Was that too real?
On Harford Tube. Dude, that's the beauty of this, though, right? I mean, it is a non-affiliated. This is just a wing it situation. So yeah, I mean, the Bay has been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Since you've been there, and it has been, we have done a bunch of different things, and some of them have been fun, and some of them have been less than fun.
I was just telling, I had Judy from Checker Spot Brewing in the other day, and I was just off air telling her the story of the first opening day that I ever went to was the first day of the morning show when you and I were doing mornings, and how ungodly obliterated I got. Drinking Be More Hazies at 9 a.m.
Sure did.
Going to the game is being there for what? An inning and a half.
Maybe.
Going back to Pratt Street Ale House and Shelf Coke.
Shelf Coke saved a life that day.
I definitely have hepatitis A through Z from drinking some Coke off a shelf that I shouldn't have touched.
That's right.
It was those types of memories are what I love about what we've been able to do over the last however many years.
I agree. And I can't think, and comment below, or you tell me if you come up with one. I can't think of another industry, and maybe this is true for television and other movies or whatever. I can't think of another industry where there are get to and have to things as much. Like, if you work at on a construction site, like, do you get to drive the truck, but you have to swing the hammer? Like, the get-tos in radio are amazing. I get to go to this concert. I get to talk to all these people. I get to be on the air or whatever, but I have to, do the commercial production. Yeah. I have to. The have-tos and the get-tos are such a big leap. Like, when I grew up on the farm, like, getting to drive the truck was one of the cool, like, get-tos. But that's about as far as it went. Like, 'cause you got to sit in air conditioning for a minute. Like, all the other stuff was have to. Most work is have to. But in radio, there's a lot of get-to.
Yeah, and even the have-tos aren't anywhere near as bad as the get-tos of
all the other jobs. I know. And I think that's what keeps us so stuck in it.
Yeah.
It's like, man, why did I have to make my hobby my job? But also, my hobby's my job. You know what I mean? So it's a very weird thing. Like, I know plenty of people who love going to concerts, and they didn't think they had to go to radio so they could get free tickets. They got a job that made some money.
Right.
They bought their damn tickets. Why did I think of that?
Who's the real idiot?
Right. Why did I think of that? No, so, how about that's a great Bay memory for me. Anything else stand out, good or bad at this point? I don't care.
Hell, I mean, early on, like going to the Guns N' Roses show with you, that was like one of the first times that we had gotten to really hang out, like when I first started there. That's a big one. I mean, the craft beer on the Bay Fest is a high watermark for me.
That was really cool.
When Jefferson kind of passed down the craft beer on the Bay thing to me, that was a goal for a lot of the time, was to build that brand up to the point where we could pull off our own festival. Whether or not we should have, whether or not it was ill-advised, whether or not it was a straight-up failure. All of that can be debated, but it was still cool as hell that we got to do it.
I think it was, too. And by all accounts, for a first-year event, given the circumstances, I think it was fine. It could have built into something else, but just one of those things. I mean, it was kind of as we got bigger in the craft beer industry started to shrink.
Yeah, that is the unfortunate kind of downside of that is, I mean, and we talk all the time about the parallels between that we see, at least between the radio and the craft beer industry. And I feel like there's a lot, and just looking at the state of beer right now, and then the fact that we're sitting here doing this,
I
can tell you something.
Very similar. I mean, I always thought that radio was not going to exist the way it did in the 70s, 80s, and 90s forever. For sure, I didn't think. And then the 90s deregulation came, and all the big companies bought up a bunch of radio stations. But I had always had faith that eventually that would break up, and then like the rich guy in every town would own the radio station.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like a picture like an Ed Hale here in Baltimore.
Right.
Well, and they would become like, oh, I can't wait to visit Baltimore and tune into that local station. That's kind of how I thought it would go. I don't know if that's happening.
No, it isn't. But I mean, we've said before, radio is always going to be there because it's always going to be free. As long as that still remains the same, you know, the audience and the, you know, how it is consumed and everything will change, has changed.
Yeah.
And another thing that we've always talked about is like the future of radio. I kind of stole this from you. Is not going to be just playing songs on the radio 12 times an hour.
No, it can't be. The financial model's just not there, and that's not what people want. Audio listening is bigger than it's ever been, and radio is not cashing in on that for whatever reason. It's storytelling. It's local connection with people. Like, and it seems so easy, and it seems like the stations that have it figured out are successful, and you can look at them and go, why? But nobody looks at them and go, oh, we should just do that. Like, I don't understand why that is. It's like, if you're a snowball stand and you're selling 45 different flavors and you're not having any customers, and you look across the stand or the street and the stand over there is selling 3 flavors, and you're like, you know, maybe we should scale down on our flavors.
Yeah. We've had these battles at the station where you and I have said, like, look, the music is one thing. It's what gives us the lane of what to talk about and everything. But at the end of the day, is it the most important thing? Probably not. There are other people that disagree with that.
And the thing is, though, I will say I have not a big ego when it comes to a lot of things. I know that I'm good at picking music. I know that I can set a vibe with music, right? But I know for absolute fact that I cannot pick songs for you as good as you can pick songs for you.
Right.
And the easier it becomes for people to pick songs for themselves, the less they want anybody else picking them for them.
Dude, I even get that when I'm doing like actual DJ gigs out at bars. I could have the entire room vibing, but I'm still going to have one person come up and ask me for some gangster rap song I've never heard of.
Right, of course.
And
isn't it the worst, too, when you finally give in? You get it all night long. You gotta play this song for me. You haven't played my song yet. Why aren't you playing my song? And you play their song, and they sit on a bar stool, and they don't get up and dance, and they don't react to it or whatever. And I've never wanted to kill a human more than when that happens.
I've taken to telling people, if I am going to play your request, your ass better be out there
if I don't
right now.
see you within the first 15 seconds of this song on the dance floor, I'm turning.
I'll just cut, completely fade it out, and put something else back on. I'll go back. I'll play It Takes Two for the 3rd time.
Oh, God. We could do an entire episode on DJing.
Oh, my God.
I used to drag you with me to my weddings and stuff like that when I was still doing that. And I remember pointing out to you, like, well, there's the drunk uncle, and there's the, the single bridesmaid who thinks she's taking somebody home tonight. Like, it is so much fun to sit and people watch and just assign personalities to the people out there, and you get good at it.
Oh, yeah, dude. I have a couple coming up.
You get good at it.
In the next couple months that I cannot wait for because they're going to be bangers. But even those bangers, you definitely have somebody that is not going to be happy with what you're doing. And that's the reason I started on that tangent. It goes back to, you can't program to everybody.
Of course. And then, so what do? You play the most widest appeal things, and everybody complains about playing the hits.
Right.
I said this the other day, too. I don't know if it was on here or on the morning show, but like the dichotomy of the fact that when you go to a concert and the band doesn't play any hits, you leave there so pissed, unsatisfied. I spent all my money and they didn't play their best songs. Then you tune in the radio, and the radio plays their best songs. You're like, why aren't they playing any of the deep stuff?
I know. And
people are just the worst.
The crazy thing is, I do it to myself with my own show. I have that free ride deep dive thing where it's like, I want to play State of Love and Trust, but when I went to see Pearl Jam, they played Jeremy, and I was stoked because it was the first time I've seen Pearl Jam, and they have to play Jeremy.
That's right. I know. It's such a weird dichotomy. I don't know if that's the right word, but it is just like it's like the grass is always greener. We always want what we can't have, right?
Yeah, 1,000%. What I can't have right now is a job.
Yeah, that is an issue. So the Bay coming to a close. Let's just hope and pray that you get something else in media. If not, is there like any other, what's your secondary passion? What's the other thing that motivates you that you be like, you know what, I could do this?
I got to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know if there is one.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I am not great at a ton of other things. Everything that I'm good at is all the stuff that's very hard to make money in.
That's right.
I'm an okay musician.
And even if you're a great musician, still very hard to make money in that. Yeah, touche.
I was talking to Caroline from Heavy Seas. I'm like, you might be getting a message from me asking if I can come sling beers soon.
Right. You guys do forklift training? Yeah. There at the brewery?
I will say this, though. I mean, and I'm glad that it didn't work out this way, but before I came over to the Bay, I was fully considering getting out of radio altogether.
Sure. Okay.
When I was getting ready to leave 98, I didn't really know what the next step was. Because, again, I didn't really have a ton of interest in moving or anything like that. And so I was this close to going to CSX and working at the coal pier that my dad works at. And, you know, they will train you to drive like the dozers and stuff like that. Yeah, that's maybe something I could have done. But I would have hated every second of my life.
I know. And I hinted at this before, but like I know so many people like who love golf. They don't work at a pro shop.
Right.
They don't work for a golf manufacturing company. They don't work at Titleist.
Yeah.
They work a job and they save their money and they go golfing on the weekends and go on golf trips once a week with their family and friends and stuff. And it's like, why did that never work in my brain? That I can do something I'm passionate about, but it doesn't have to be my job. And I think you're in the same boat. I think we're kindred spirits when it comes to that.
Yeah, I'm really good at backing myself in a corner, apparently. I mean, it goes back to me getting kicked out of school. Like, I'm real good at putting myself in the worst possible situation and then figuring a way out of it.
I've been trying to think of this too, right? Because I'm like you. I love this. And I started my career a lot more behind the scenes than in the front. And when I came to the Bay, that's when I had the daily air shift and really started to fall in love with this side of the microphone. So, but I'm like, okay, so what else could I do? I love food, but that's not, I'm almost 50. I'm not going to start in a kitchen. Are you kidding me? So I'm not going to do that. I don't know. And that's it. Like, I like music a lot, and I like food a lot, and I like talking.
I don't know
what else I got.
Huber's barbecue food truck could be a thing.
You have no idea how many people have asked me if I was starting a food truck. I mean, it is like, what are you going to do when the Bay goes away? I assume you're going to start a food truck. Like, it's like the next thing. It's like, well, you're good at two things, and this one's going away, so I guess you'll do the other one?
Yeah, I mean, if they could pay me for smoking weed and drinking beer, I'd be set.
You're already semi-pro.
I'm killing it over here in that. I was just stoned to the bone watching the Vans Warped Tour live stream the other night from Long Beach. Which, that's something I wanted to talk to you about, by the way.
Yeah.
How do you feel, this is totally different, but how do you feel about watching concert live streams?
So I was never that into it, right? I know a lot of people did, you know, in the early stages of COVID or whatever, and I wasn't that into it. I had been to Red Rocks the July, like before COVID hit, I guess. And I saw this band called Camp and Trampled by Turtles. And then towards the end of COVID, they released a video recording of that concert. And I was like, you know what? Can't do anything, whatever. So I set up this big inflatable screen in the driveway. I put out my DJ speakers, you know, in stereo left, right, and set it all up. And it got like one of the metal like fire pits and two, you know, camp chairs or whatever, and sat out in the driveway and watched it. And I was like, why didn't I do this more? Like, not that elaborate, but like, I really enjoyed it. I'm like, all this time when everybody else was watching live shows, why did I think that was lame? Because now I like it.
Dude, so I went to the Warped Tour in D.C. in June, had a blast, and then the Long Beach stop was this past weekend. And I managed to get the kid to sleep by 8:30, which almost never fucking happens anymore. My wife was like at dinner with a friend, so I'm like, I'm going to hang out with my friend Benjamin.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit on the couch, and I'm going to watch this live stream. And I had so much fun doing that. You're going to love this. I found myself pulling my phone out and recording the TV screen during my favorite Devil Wears Prada song
As if you were in the...
As if I was at the show. And I almost... I'm peeling back the curtain. I almost sent it to you.
Awesome.
I had the text open. I was about to hit send. And as if a guardian angel was on my shoulder, something told me, what in the blue hell are you doing?
That's so amazing.
You're sending a video of your TV screen from your couch to someone who's at a concert.
I was at a show. Woo. It is so funny, though. Like, it just tells you that you were taken by a moment, and that's good. I was at a concert that night at Merriweather, and I sent a video of the band I was seeing, and I did send it to you, too,
Yes.
covered Fleetwood Mac. Why can't you think of what it was? Yeah, Dreams. And I sent it to you and my group text with a bunch of guys. The only two places I sent it. And I sent it with, no one of you will watch this video. Because I was positive that nobody would watch it. Because they're not in that moment. They're not swept up by it. So don't think you're weird for getting swept up in the moment watching a live show. And that's just one step weirder. But nonetheless, I get it, man. When you're having that good time and vitamins T, H, and C have kicked in, and you're relaxed, and you're like, oh, this is so cool. I want to share this good feeling with somebody. I feel it.
And if I'm being perfectly honest with you, the thing that stopped me from sending that video to you, it wasn't even just the fact of how insane that was. It was, I decided to listen back to it before I sent it.
Just to see, like, if it was really ridiculous.
And I realized that you couldn't even hear the TV in the video. And I was like, I'm going to send this guy a video of a TV screen, and he can't hear the song. This is so stupid. What am I doing?
That's a good one, man. I don't know that I've ever done that. Now, I have sent a screen, like I'm watching the football game.
Oh, yeah.
Just enough for you to see that I'm sitting there watching the football game or something like that. I don't know that I've ever sent a video of what I was watching on TV to somebody, though. That's a good one.
It was the most insane thing I've ever done.
So, as we make our way here towards the end of 100.7, the Bay, it's been a wild ride. I was glad to have you a part of it for sure. I don't think... there's a million things I'm like, oh, would I have done this different? And then probably some, but for the most part, I feel like eventually it all kind of fell into place where it needed to and how it did. And that's kind of one of the biggest bummers is it was really starting to feel like it was gelling.
I will say this, of the various, things that I wish had gone differently or whatever, very few of them were in our control.
That's true too.
There are... a lot of moments that in hindsight I can point back to, and for the wrestling nerds, I can say that was our finger poke of doom WCW moment. But they weren't things that we, caused ourselves. They were things that were kind of placed upon us.
Yeah. No,
so
I
can rest easy knowing that the things that we had control over, the things that we did with that station to kind of bring it into this current era, I'm proud of those things.
There are some feelings of we succeeded despite things working against us that were out of our control.
At every turn.
Yeah. The fact that we were able to, essentially I feel like this station historically, and even in some of the insider radio trades and stuff, there were sentiments that echoed this. It outkicked its coverage.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. As in revenue it brought in, as in listenership, as in clients saying that people came to their business when they advertised on the Bay, to people showing up at events. We could never get the system to work in our favor.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's like if all your teachers loved you and you were valedictorian and you were in all the school plays and you know what I mean? You had perfect attendance, but you still failed your report card. That's how it was being at the Bay. We could never get the one thing that really counted for the industry to work.
That write-up that Dave Hill did was the perfect encapsulation of the kind of the history of that station.
It totally did capture it, and I'm going to miss it, and I know that Baltimore's going to miss it. It's going to leave a void for sure for that local feeling, and I do think that that is a recipe for success moving forward, much like a good craft brewery is to own the place you're in, appeal to the people that can come to you,
right.
and you know, provide a great place for people to hang out and meet each other and create a community. And that's what local radio can do better than everybody, but it's just not being done at a national level as far as the national corporations. And I think the only way that gets done is with local ownership, but with the laws being the laws, I don't know that it's ever going to happen. It's a shame.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Radio's in such a weird place. I don't see myself trying to get out of it, but I mean, 5 years from now, who knows? Maybe I'm sitting at this table talking about how I got fired from my next job. So,
or maybe this becomes the job, and you know, it's everywhere now, right? What is the statement? You got to go to where the people are. And the people don't have FM receivers in their house.
Right.
They've barely got them in their car anymore. It's 3 clicks down past Bluetooth and XM and everything else. And it's like the people are on their phones. And this medium, what we're literally doing right now on, you know, YouTube and social media and whatever, is where the people are.
yeah.
It's just the problem is everybody can do it.
Yeah, and
what used to take a transmitter and a FCC license and a giant tower that was permitted and a utility bill that's thousands of dollars a month to execute, you can do in the school pickup line like, hey, guys, like and subscribe.
And it goes back to what we were talking about earlier with like music discovery and stuff. As the internet has expanded in its capabilities, it's kind of chopped away at like what the gatekeepers used to be.
Oh my God, I was going to say that exact word.
And for a lot of things, that's good. But for a lot of things, maybe we need some gatekeepers.
I think
don't know.
so. And it's not even so much. It's like I just trusted, like John Peel from the BBC, for instance, right? I, heard the Smiths there and the Cure and like those sessions. I'm like, I understand now that if he likes it, I'm probably going to like it. It wasn't that they were shoved down my face. It was like 120 minutes with Matt Pinfield. Like, if it was on that show on MTV, solid chance I was going to like it.
There was some sort of like trusted source.
Right. And even record labels to the point. Yeah. Curation, more than gatekeeping, it's curation. Like Sub Pop Records. Like if they put out a record back in the day, there's a good chance I was going to like it. But I don't know if that exists anymore. Maybe it does. I don't know. I wish. It needs to. Yeah,
and that's like I'm all for, the barrier to entry being more accessible and things like that, but yeah, the lack of curation of like quality content, it can lead to kind of a wasteland.
Well, who knows where this will end up. Maybe this literal thing we're doing right now maybe ends up with 6 views or 60 or 6,000 or 600,000. And that's the crapshoot. And nobody has seemed to quite be able to figure out what is the difference maker there.
I played in a local original music band that no one's ever heard of. I'm used to getting 6 views.
On that note, Matt Weitzel, thanks for taking the time today. I've had nothing but pleasure working with you, and I'll hire you again somewhere if I have to. I'll make it 3 for 3.
Your mouth to God's ears. Look, I've said this before, but there are a few people in this industry that I owe more to, both on a professional level and a personal level. That. So I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you too. And gone to war with me on a couple of different battles, and hopefully we get to do it again. And if not, you got the keys to the garage here. So.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm going to come in here and get smashed.
That's right. It is Hanging with Huber and Mr. Matt Weitzel, the guest today. Thanks for listening.
Deuces.
And the mouse just decided to disconnect because I didn't touch it for so long.
Oh, Jesus.
Now I don't even know where it is to hit stop.